Well, good evening. Today is November 21st, 2022. We are here together in the Rowan County Board of Commissioners meeting. We are glad that you have chosen to join us tonight and hope that you find your time profitable. So we begin with a couple of things as our tradition. We're going to have our chaplain come forward. And our chaplain is going to provide for us what's called a solemnizing prayer. And that solemnizing prayer, that is not for you. It's for the commissioners, because we seek wisdom and things that we do on behalf of the folks of Rowan County. And we're also going to have a pledge. So commissioners, if you'll join me, we'll get started.
Commissioners, Lord, we come to you tonight, and we come to you on behalf of our county commissioners, dear Lord, as they put plenty of hours and time into this meeting tonight. Pray you give them the wisdom they need as we conduct this message tonight, and pray you bless them in a special way. We thank them and the dedication they have for Rowan County. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we've got some changes to make, and I'm probably going to need help on these. First of all, we've got, you've been provided with some budget amendments that is an addition to our existing budget amendments. Oh, there weren't any originally? Okay. So we'll add that as items 7A. Item 7A. All right, and then we also have something that was provided. Century Community Southeast LLC, that's going to be added to consent item AB, the sewer easement agreement. That is part of item AB on consent. So that'll be added to consent AB. Also, you were just handed an item regarding clerk to the board. That'll be consent item AC. Consent item AC. Have I missed anything, Mr. Manager?
To add a resolution,
Special recognition.
under special recognition,
Yeah,
of resolution.
Yeah, we've got added resolutions to the special recognition. So we'll add a letter B there.
We're gonna add it.
Yeah, we've got closed session already. All right, anything else? Anyone has, look like all of it? All right. All right, so do we have a motion to amend that agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion to approve the minutes of November 1 and November 7.
So moved.
And a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Then the consent agenda has been amended. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Special recognition time.
Yay.
Yay. So we're going to begin. If the High Sheriff would join us up here. We asked him to wear green tonight so we could pick him out. So we've got some bittersweet times. Hello. So tonight brings some bittersweet times for the county and for this commission. We're gonna not say goodbye to friends, but we're gonna congratulate friends for their the next chapter of their life. As you know, I moved here from another state, but I've known Kevin about as long as I've been here and watched him ascend to the position of sheriff. And he has just done such a good job for us here. And he has been able to navigate very well the job of being sheriff and taking care of folks in Rowan County. But equally as important and valuable is a sheriff who can navigate the political waters. And you've been able to do that very well by advocating for the folks of the county and also getting the commissioners to do what you needed us to do. And so we appreciate that anytime you came to us, we knew that your word was good. And we appreciate that about you and appreciate the ability for us to work with you. And that has been really valuable. So I know that everyone has things they want to say to you tonight. And so we're going to give everyone a chance here, and we'll start with Craig.
Well, the sheriff and I used to play golf on Wednesdays. We called it WAG, Wednesday afternoon golf. And I found out I wasn't the worst golf player in this county, but my foursome was. And I had a good time with Kevin, and him and I have been real active on North Rowan High School athletics. And he led me to see that this is where you start preparing these youth for life challenges, and it's worked out real well. And I can't thank him enough for all that he's done for the youth all across this entire county. And I just hope that he'll continue to do that now that he's got time off.
Well, I don't know how many years ago it was, but I've known this gentleman. I used to carry his daddy's car insurance years ago. And I've always been amazed that a man that was that bad a driver ascended to sheriff of Rowan County.
That is the truth.
But, you know, when this job fell in my lap, you start thinking about what you don't know about. And running the sheriff's department was one of those things that I had no clue about. And thank God I didn't have to do it. But especially several years ago, as an example, Salisbury came to us and said they needed some help. And Kevin was the first one to let us know about it. And we formed an agreement, and we provided help for Salisbury when they needed it. There was no egos involved in this thing. There was only public service that was involved in it. And I've always been very proud to be associated with an organization that worked that well throughout the county. And Mr. Sheriff, we're going to miss you. We wish you very long and enjoyable retirement, and maybe you can improve your golf game.
Oh, well, Kevin, I haven't known you as long as the rest of these guys, but I will say that I look forward to seeing you because your mother is my tax lady. And if you go and do that with her, I'll get to see you quite a bit. But no, I just appreciate you so much and your willingness to be open to new ideas and ways of doing things. And I hope that that is something that we can continue to do in this county. You know, we just had a conversation earlier about about how our mentally ill citizens end up in the jail, and that is no place for them to be. And so I really, really appreciate you as a person and as our sheriff.
Well, Sheriff, let me say I appreciate you. I think we've seen examples around the state where you have sheriffs and boards of commissioners that fight and butt heads a lot. Although it's good sometimes for elected officials to have some tension, we've seen where it pretty much shut government down. And so you've been really good to work with. I appreciate the fact that you've always looked out for the employees. I know conversations that we've had, you've always talked about, this might be good for me, but this is really what's better for the employees. So I appreciate that about you, that you care about the citizens, the conversations we've had, and how you've always tried to do the right thing for the citizens. So we appreciate you. You got big shoes to fill, but we look forward to working with Travis coming up, and someone that he can follow your lead and do what's right for the citizens. So appreciate you. And on behalf of the Rowan County Board of Commissioners, I want to present you with this plaque. It says presented to Kevin Alton in his recognition and gratitude of 35 years of law enforcement service to the citizens of Rowan County, and for the 12 years of faithful and exemplary leadership as sheriff, with appreciation for his dedication and vision in providing for the health, safety, and well-being of all. From the Rowan Board of County Commissioners and the people of Rowan County, this 21st day of November, 2022.
Jim's right. I hit everything but the flagpole. And I was a horrible driver. But all seriousness, gonna be hard. It's not about me. It's about the people that work at the sheriff's office. I've always said that. And it still is. I've been blessed to have these commissioners. I've been told no. Greg will tell me no, but he'll say, let's try this. I don't like a person that says no and just shuts you down. Tell me what else we can do. Let's work together. I've had other commissioners tell me I don't like that idea, but what else can we do? And that's what it's about, give and take, give and take. And that's how you manage the place. But I'm so thankful. And Travis is going to do well. I went up with him Thursday and Friday. He was in Chapel Hill for school last week. But he and I've already been spending time together. I've taken him to sheriff's meetings before this summer, and this fall he's been going to meetings, and I'm going to miss it. I'm not going to go away. I'm going to find me a board or two so I can still come up here and see folks. I still want to serve the community, especially kids. So I guess his bye is being your sheriff next Wednesday, but I'm not going anywhere. And I can't finish tonight. Carolyn, I've loved working with you. If it's a secret, it's a secret. You don't tell it. I trust you. And if I don't need to hear it or I'm not supposed to hear it, you don't tell it. And that's unbelievable when you work in the environment you work in and with politicians and different folks. So congratulations on your retirement. Jay, thank you for always answering the phone. Got a lot of questions. We caused you a lot of grief, but this group up here has been so good to work for. I can't describe it. And Anna, welcome aboard. I know we've kind of butted the heads, but sheriff's used to getting away, let's say lawfully doing what he wants to do, but not following the county policy. That's what I'll say. And Anna is whipping us into shape. It needed to be done, and it comes across as ugly sometimes, but I understand, and thank you, Anna. And Aaron, thank you for being the manager. I told you the first meeting we had, I was different than any sheriff you'd worked with, and I hope I've proven that to you. But, and thank you to the citizens, Travis. Love you, brother. Gonna hand that baton to you soon. And you got to carry forward, man. You got 200 employees you just inherited, and they depend on you. And that's the most important, because if our people aren't happy and doing a good job, then we don't look good. I look good because I had good people. I didn't do the work. And if you've ever heard me in public say, Sheriff, you're doing a great job. No, it's my staff, not me. It's not about me. So thank you. I appreciate this. I am going to miss coming every other Monday night, I guess. But maybe Travis will let me come back and be an associate member to come to these meetings. So thank you. I'm honored, and I hope you can come by Monday. You know, we're 2 to 5 at the plaza. There's going to be a lot of different folks there and plenty of food. There's a lot of other retirements on that agenda tonight. Please come by. I mean, David Ramsey with 44 years. Larry St. Clair with 42 years. John Sifford, 35 years. Chad Moose, 33 years. Lane Kepley, 30 plus years. Carmen Williams, 30 years. There's a lot of people retiring Monday that have made me look to be a good sheriff. And I couldn't have done it without those people. And those people wouldn't have stayed if you guys weren't taking care of us. So thank you for everything you've ever done.
All right. All right, we got one more. Who would this be for? Yeah. Hey, Jeff, would you join us up here? Would you join us up here? So most of you probably know Jeff Barger. He is our clerk of court, but his wife, Carolyn, is our clerk to the board. They're both clerks, I guess. I don't know if I ever realized that, but Carolyn, if you could come forward. Here, Carolyn, come on over here. Carolyn and Jeff here in the middle. Yeah. She says, are my eyes red already? All right.
This is a resolution commending Carolyn Barger for her service. And it says, whereas Carolyn Barger, of Salisbury, North Carolina, commenced employment with the county of Rowan as Office Assistant 3 on September the 8th of 1999, and will retire as the clerk to the Board of Rowan County Commissioners on November 30th, 2022. Whereas Carolyn Barger served the Rowan County's first ever deputy clerk in 1999 and was appointed to the clerk to the board in 2005, and her tenure as clerk to the board served 25 elected officials and 4 county managers. Whereas Rowan County Commissioners make the following observations: that Carolyn Barger is a leader in and is an active member of the International Institute of Municipality Clerks and North Carolina Association of County Clerks; that she achieved the International Institute of Master Municipal Clerk designation in 2014, which is recognized and accepted internationally; and that she served on the board of directors of the North Carolina Association of County Clerks as president from 2013 to 2014, as well as serving as vice president and secretary. She was recognized as the North Carolina Association of County Clerks and served for the Howard Holly Outstanding Clerk of the Year Award in 2014 through 2015. That she is in the inaugural class of North Carolina clerks receiving the North Carolina County Clerk designation conferred by the School of Government. That she achieved the first ever Master County Clerk designation from the School of Government, and that Carolyn Barger throughout the honorable services as clerk has displayed remarkable and unlimited historical knowledge of the activities and conducts of the Rowan County operations. Now, therefore, let it be resolved that is the proper for us as friends, colleagues, acquaintances, and members of the Rowan County Commissioners to record our recognition and appreciation for the sincere, generous, and valuable services rendered by the clerk of the board, Carolyn Barger, on this date, November 21st, 2022, and look forward to her much deserved retirement on November the 30th, 2022.
Carolyn, we got to do this at your retirement party. I'm trying to think of something different to say, but with all that you have done for us over the years, we're going to miss you. And we don't even know half of the stuff we're going to miss you for now. But you've done a very professional job the last 8 years that I know of. I think it was a little sketchy before that, but you've really done well since we've been here. But thank you for all that you've done and keeping us straight, keeping us out of jail, especially as Greg says all the time. We appreciate that. I'll still be sending you some of the pictures of my grandchildren as we have exchanged that for the last 8 years. So thank you so much for what you've done. We love you and have a great retirement.
I've already said what's on there.
Well, Carolyn, I guess I met you 10 years ago now. And obviously I showed up and you probably thought I was in the wrong place, and I probably was. But you helped me out over the years, helped all of us out. You're probably one of the few people, and I don't know how to explain it to all these folks here, but someone who takes your job so personally and dedicated. I've never really met anybody else like that. I've heard you use the word, this is my board. I'm going to take care of my board, and how you took us as your family, really, and always looked out for us. Obviously it's hard because we're 5 knuckleheads here and we're all running in different directions and trying to get us all together and show up for meetings and not doing this training or doing that training and traveling here or not traveling there. And I don't know how you did it, to be honest with you. But I appreciate it. Like I said, you're one of the most dedicated and most professional people I've ever met. And I've met a lot of people. And so thank you for all you've done for us. We appreciate you.
Carolyn, this is not goodbye, but we're going to miss seeing you every day in that wonderful office, smiling at us when we come up, always willing to listen to us when we had to vent or share grandkids' pictures. I agree with Greg that you help keep us out of jail. Oh, yeah. But you have been such a special person to all of us. And we are going to miss you sitting in that office. Now, we promised to visit. So Jeff, you better keep that house clean because we'll just pop in anytime. But okay, I'll take you up on that. But you've been a wonderful, wonderful teacher and partner in all of this. And when I didn't know what the heck I was doing, I could always call you and say, now what? So thank you. Thank you.
So what they're referring to is after we got elected, the 3 of us in 14, the first time I met Aaron, he said, what do you want from me as your manager? And I said, just keep us out of jail because we don't know what we're doing and we could do some things that are wrong. And when I walked in and met with Carolyn, she said, what can I do as your board clerk? I said, keep me out of jail. And so far, they have done that. Now, if next week we find ourselves behind bars, we'll know that the only person keeping us out has been Carolyn. So that's what we were referring to then. I met Carolyn when we didn't know each other, and we won't talk about that chance meeting, but we know what it was, and it was an ordained meeting one time. And then I was pleased to be able to work with her up here. And she has seen us at our best, and she's seen me at my worst, right? And but supported us anyway. And so we value her tremendously, first of all, as a sister and a friend. but as someone who has taken her job so seriously. And we know what kind of person she is and who she serves, and that is the most important thing to us. So Carolyn, we wish you all the best, you and Jeff, in retirement. And we love you guys, even you. And we look forward to hearing a lot of great stories in retirement. So congratulations to you, and we'll turn this mic over to you.
I won't talk long because if I do, I'll cry. And I have told Siobhan that I didn't think I had any more tears left. I am so grateful to have served so many elected officials. It's really been an honor through the years. They've all been great in their own way. Their personalities sometimes clash, but that didn't involve me. You know, they may have all wanted to get to that dot on the wall and just have different opinions on how to get there. And it wasn't my job to take sides. My job was to be the glue that holds them together. And I've tried to do that to the best of my ability. And it's really been a privilege. All of these guys are very special. All of the department directors that I've worked with through the years, those of you that are in the room, and I'm looking at some of you, you are very special to me. And I appreciate you making my job easier when I needed your help. Many thanks to Kevin back there making faces at me to keep me from having a meltdown. I appreciate him so very much. He's been a rock through a lot of things. And Jay, we've fought like brother and sister and cheered each other and been best of friends. He's been a brother that I never had. And I thank him for always being there to keep me out of trouble and out of jail. So thank you all from the bottom of my heart for letting me serve. I thank my husband. He's been, now I will cry. He's been amazing. And it's pretty cool. The county's going to lose both its clerks on the same day. We're looking forward to this next chapter. So thank you all.
Well, thank you for indulging that. When you have over 70 years of experience, it deserves some attention and some time and consideration. So we appreciate that. All right, we'll move on to the next item. Item number 3, our public comment. We've got Travis Allen, public comment. Hey, welcome.
Thank you. I'm here for one reason tonight, and that's for my sheriff. I've held out pretty emotionally over this election time, but I owe my life and my career to the man in the green coat. And I'm kind of torn. I'm happy for my situation, but yet to see that gentleman leave bothers me. Because 12 years ago, I ran against him. And he kept his word, and I kept my word, and I said, I'll support you. I'll be your best man as long as you, but the day you tell me you're not running, I'm in. And I have a story that kind of relates to the situation. I'm a very religious person, and it reminds me of the story of Elijah and Elisha. Elisha was tasked with one thing. He says, you follow him, and if you follow him and you're there when he's gone, I'll give you what you want, give you ask for. So he did. he followed him around. So we know God took him in a fiery chariot. It's what the scripture says. And he left him his mantle. The Bible says he cast his mantle upon him. And that's what I feel like the responsibility that he's carried for all these years is cast on me. And I see that. And Elisha had his request he could ask, his so-called rub the genie bottle and get your wish. And you know what he asked for? He asked for a double portion of the wisdom and the strength that Elijah had. And that's what I asked for. Just if I could have a double portion of what that man's provided this office in this county, I'm a blessed individual. I love this county. I've spent almost my entire law enforcement career here. I'm thankful to work with you. I call all of you on this board my friend. Never had a crossword with any of you, and never plan to do so. I plan on putting the citizens first. I always have. I had numerous chances to go other places, but I survived 29 years of a law enforcement career with a wife that's a stay-home mom. I was a deputy sheriff on an EBT card, buying groceries on an EBT card. And I'm looking at what the Lord has blessed me with. And I owe that thanks to that gentleman there. And I'm here only for that reason tonight, is to thank him and to thank you for the care in which you've left my office. Even though his command staff is leaving with him, men of many years, he has left me an office that is not broken. I'm inheriting a good place. And that's because of what you've done for him and how he's worked for you. But that's my comments, that I only simply request of the Lord a double portion of the blessings that the sheriff has had. And I'll take up that mantle just like Elijah did. And I appreciate your time, and I thank you for your service to the county.
Thank you, Travis. All right, we'll move on to item number 4. And that is road name change. And let's see. Who is doing this? Okay, yeah, come on forward. Welcome. Pam, yes, Pam. That's right.
I just have one for you guys tonight. This road, you can see on the map, Orbison Road has been there, and there has been a house. It kind of splits. It comes straight down and then it goes over here to this one house. And they've built that house and then another house off of it. And they're wanting to build the third house, which means we need to name this road. So the family did a petition and they came up with Stamy Way, which was approved by 911. And that's the ask tonight, is just to rename that, just that portion. The descending portion that heads south will remain Orbison Road. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So we'll hold a public hearing. If anyone would like to speak on this name change, then come forward. Now would be the time. All right, seeing none, we'll close the public hearing. Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve this name change? All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you very much. Thank you for being here today. Let's see, Shane Stewart. This is for SNIA 03-22 for Teramore Development. Shane, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the Teramore Development has petitioned for an SNIA permit on land owned by Greer Goodman. The land is located here on the northwest corner of Mooresville Road. This is Briggs Road. It's these two parcels here, 465A, 043, and 044. And these parcels total 2¼ acres. And it would be the portion on the southern side. There's a 45-foot wide strip that was not part of this application. You'll see on the site plan. So you see the red area is zoned CBI, rural residential here in gray, RA in yellow. This is the overall site plan. And to zoom in a little bit, this is Briggs Road, the access point here into a little over 10,000 square foot retail store. And a few of the things to point out on the site plan, the applicant did try to address a few of the land use plan recommendations, and they provided some landscaping along both road fronts, Mooresville and Briggs. There is a house that's built on land that used to be owned by Greer Goodman just off the screen here, and per that home and the standards in the ordinance, a type A screen's required. So within that section, there's a 6-foot wooden fence and then a row of evergreens, 10 feet on center. That 45-foot wide strip I mentioned, this about a 1/4 acre, this is not part of the request and site plan. So that would actually be attached back to Greer's other properties on CBI in the request. A couple other things too, you see a stormwater pond identified here. That's required by the state. It's within the phase 2 stormwater area, but it's within 5 miles of our airport. So it may be in a different form where it doesn't hold water, so it doesn't attract waterfowl. So staff calculations, what we start with and the reason we're here, anytime you're in a watershed, you look at that percentage, what is allowed. So the total acreage being requested is just under 2 acres. And with the store 10,665 and some other improvements being the site, the parking lot, our total is about 3/4 to 0.8 acres, which is 39% of the site. What's allowed by right in the Back Creek, Sloan Creek watershed at 12%, or they're asking for about 3 times the amount that's allowed by right. And anytime we have an application, we look at what's in the watershed in terms of total acreage, and then we can remove as a county 10% of that as part of our request. So those are the figures here, the 10%. Then you compare what's already been removed, about 67 acres. Probably easier just to look at the overall percentage of our 10%, and we've allocated 2% of our 100% at this point. Addressing a few other standards in the land use plan recommendations, the applicant has provided a facade detail and rendering we'll look at next, but probably difficult to see here, but with on the upper left, so this would be the store facing 150. And then the rear facade here, and then Briggs Road facing frontage here, and then the opposite side. So primarily the facade you see on the lower would be a brick veneer. The upper part would be hardy board. This elevation don't show it, but the applicant has agreed to do hardy board on the back. This says metal, but they've agreed to hardy board there. And with this rendering here, this would match the Woodleaf store, if the board remembers that request back in 19. And then they also have committed to doing a monument style sign with a brick base and 4x8. So again, those are to address some of the land use plan recommendations. And real quickly, I won't touch much on this, but the applicant provided a transportation or traffic memo from Davenport Consultants. And I picked out a few of the things here too. Anytime with a TIA, you look at, well, we have a land use code for the use, and there'll be a number of trips that's projected based off the size. And in this case, it's 566 trips. And a trip being a start point, end point, and return. So if I leave home, go to a store, and then leave, that's 2 trips leaving the site. So that 566 represents that. AM and PM breakdown. And then the big thing would be what's the impact based on this input and what they project at the intersection of 150 and Briggs. Base year is today. No build is nothing happens in 24 as a result of this project, or we build it. So easiest comparison is the current state to store gets built. You have level of service grades. And then probably the easier thing to focus on would be the time delay for those movements. So you have 32-second delay going to 43 if the store is built per these projections. Full memos included in your attachments there. Okay. So normally we don't have, as far as the SNIA, it's staff delivery, but if the board would like, there's some folks here representing the applicant and possibly members of the public, I'm not sure. But we did let the fire department know because they were interested from a couple months ago, so there may be somebody here for that. But procedurally, we would need to, after the board's decision on that matter, approve, deny, or table the request. If the board does choose to approve it, there's a few conditions you may want to consider here and anything else. Any questions I could answer?
So we never have had comments on SNIA. So you're saying that we may want to do that this time?
Up to the board.
I can. All right. Any questions of Shane? All right. Stay close, Shane. All right. I know there's some folks from the applicant that are here. If you'd like to speak, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board members. My name is Mike Fox. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Tuggle Duggins. My office address is 400 Belmead Street, Suite 800 in Greensboro, North Carolina, and I am here tonight representing the applicant. We want to respect your tradition of not hearing presentations, but we wanted to make ourselves available for questions if you have them. In addition to myself, I have Joe Strickland, who is here representing Teramore. I have Justin Church, who is a licensed site civil engineer. Obviously, this is an issue of watershed, so having the site civil engineer here is important. And so Justin is able to answer any questions you may have about how we can comply with this request. We also have John Davenport here of Davenport Engineering, who is a licensed professional engineer focusing in traffic as well, in case there are any questions the board may have. We appreciate the opportunity to be considered for this. We do think that it is an appropriate request. Teramore has been approved for two similar requests like this in the recent past, and it is a relatively minor request. As you saw from Shane, you're nowhere near your limit on this, and we feel like that this would be a good use of some of the SNIA allotment for this, for an establishment that would add to your tax base and bring jobs and provide a service to your citizens. So with that, we would hope that and ask for your approval and be available to answer any questions that you may have.
All right. Any questions for the applicant? Mr. Fox, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we'll remain available. If other people come up and have questions, we're happy to come back up.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
So like Shane said, we've never had comments, but we will open it up. If someone has any comments they'd like to make, we'll make that available now. Yes, sir. Let's come on up and state your name and your address for the record, and welcome.
Thank you. My name is Larry Bell. I live at 970 Briggs Road. I own property at 950 Briggs Road. It's 0.8 of a mile from this build site. They're asking to build one of these Dollar General stores. There was 13 of them closed down this summer in Rowan County for fire codes. When they've had these fire codes, these were city ordinance that were broke, state ordinance broke, and federal ordinance broke. These ordinances were due with handicap ordinance. When these handicap ordinance was broke, the states that handicapped people could not enter these stores due to the fire ordinance broke. They're asking you to do a favor for them by changing this ordinance on this land. When they come up here before in front of this board and lied out to you, come straight out and lied to you about rezoning this land. They wanted this land rezoned the first time, rezoned for a R&A, residential light industrial rezoning. Now they have it rezoned for commercial. They want to build a Dollar General store. They say it's gonna bring more taxes. Well, they have part-time help with these stores. With part-time help, there's no taxes, very low taxes paid. Right next to this property, there's 2 houses being built right now, right next to this property, with 3 more to be built this spring by Raven Industrial. That's gonna bring more taxes in here than what this store is gonna bring. There's another store 2 miles down the road. Within an 8-mile radius, there's 6 miles of these stores. There's 6 stores in an 8-mile radius. We don't need another one of these stores in Lott Township. It's not going to be no good for Lott Township. Your water runoff, they're asking for a favor for water runoff. This water runoff is going to run off. There's no drains, there's no nothing. It's going to run off out in Mooresville Road. And it's already have flooding in the Lott Fire Department. We're going to have more flooding in the Lott Fire Department. We're going to have more water runoff with these houses and in this building being done. They're asking for a favor for you when they come and lie to you. You guys just have to say enough's enough and no more. No more lying. Rowan County doesn't need no more business like this. I don't know why they want to come up and do business in Rowan County. They can't take care of the stores they have. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much for being here. Do we have anyone else? Hey, welcome.
Good evening. My name is Charlie Wallace. I live at 5506 Mooresville Road in Salisbury. I live right up the street. I'm here to address the soil, the retention pond as it lies on the Mooresville Road side. I used to work in the planning and zoning and environmental services for Mr. Green many years ago before I was a firefighter. As the water runs off into these erosion control ponds, all the pond simply does is remove sediment from the water, and it slows the water and then releases it into the rivers, lakes, and streams. With the heavier rains we've seen lately, this pond will not contain these waters. All it's going to simply do is fill up, run into Highway 150 and cross the street and fill up the fire department. I know I speak from experience. I have squeegeed the floors in the fire department, in the fire chief's office. I've been on my hands and knees in there with it simply being a field. With them building in excess of the allowable percentage with non-porous concrete and asphalt, it's not doing anybody any favors. And it's going to simply create not only an intermittent flooding event, it'll turn the fire department into a swamp. It'll turn your emergency services into a swamp where they cannot respond to anybody's house, my house, the Dollar General, anywhere. That's all I've got. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, and thank you for being here. Are there any others? Going once? Going twice? All right, I don't think I actually declared a public hearing, but we'll close that. And so commissioners will discuss this.
I'll say, I think several months ago, I believe we received a letter from the fire department stating, at least from the board of directors, stating they thought it would be not in the best interest of the fire department out there to have that across the street for the reasons that this gentleman was talking about. So I'm not inclined to vote for this.
Mr. Chairman, there's a reason why we have a percentage of SNIA, and it just seems like nobody cares. Every time something comes up that needs to be excused, they act like, well, this is no big deal, but I'm hearing that it's a real big deal. And I think it's time that we just draw a line in the sand and say, you know what? We got this ordinance here for a reason, and the reason is because it's not safe. So for me, I cannot vote to approve this at all.
Mr. Chairman, and my friend Commissioner Pierce, actually, you've heard me talk about this.
I think we've all talked about it, Commissioner Cluesman.
But anyway, I have been concerned about the SNIA designations, and water runoff is a serious problem. And the more developed we get as a county, the more we're going to see flooding. And when you look at Highway 150, Mooresville Road and the problems that we're already having. This is just going to multiply it, and it's going to be very, very dangerous for our citizens with that road flooding. So I can't support this.
Mr. Chairman, I think we have had discussions with Teramore and about the stores that are already here. And we see them, and I haven't gotten the story exactly from our fire chief about why they closed most of them. I think that they were told that, or we were told that they were just not enough room in the aisles and trash on the outside of the stores. I just don't see that we need to allow any more here until it's been proved that they are serious about the stores that they have and cleaning up the trash around the dumpsters and those types of things that we found. So I can't support this either.
So before us is the issue of SNIA. Unbeknown to the applicant and probably most folks, we're actually anticipating some long-term issues with a neighboring community here in Rowan County, to Rowan County, in Iredell County, related to some watershed issues and allocation of credits with regard to SNIA. And currently our planning board is amending or working on amendments to our zoning text that will address some of the concerns with our watershed and development within the watershed. So specifically to the answer or the issue of the SNIA request with regard to watershed, I'm not inclined to grant this SNI request where there's available property zone for that proposed use. And then I would just add on to this for our citizens. You know, we've got Teramore here, and Teramore is not Dollar General. Teramore is they develop buildings for a lot of different companies. So Teramore has been helpful to us in talking with Dollar General. We have spoken with Dollar General directly in person about some of our disappointment in the stores that are here. We are working with them. We are not there yet. I hope to have some more conversations with Dollar General very soon with regard to how they run their stores and how they present their business to the people of Rowan County. We know we deserve better. We don't have anything against Dollar General. To citizens, I would say it's not up to us to determine if there's enough of one store or the other. The market figures that out. We've got convenience stores all around the county, and we don't determine how many convenience stores they're going to be. The market figures out when we have enough gas stations and convenience stores. We are concerned about issues of life safety, and we've had very candid discussions about that. And we've had discussions about the way stores are presented to the people of Rowan County that we believe deserve better. And so we are going to, in this case, it looks like, deny this SNIA request. And we are going to continue to push for a more respectful response, not from Teramore. Teramore's not the bad guy here. And I shouldn't, that's not to say there's a bad guy. But we need better from folks that want to do business. When Rowan County was begging for business just 18 months ago, we were giving away land to try to get someone to come here to bring jobs and investment. And we are not in that position any longer. We believe we have a position of strength. People want to be here. We can pick and choose. And we deserve better. And so, again, this is an SNIA request. We'll vote on this in a second. But this is also a message to companies that would come here. We want quality because Rowan County citizens deserve quality. We deserve better. And I'll end it at that. Do we have a motion to deny the SNIA request 03- wait a minute, is that it? 03-22?
03-22.
All right, do we have a motion?
So moved.
All right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. Thank you, Teramore. It's good to see you guys, and I know we'll talk to you soon, okay? All right, we'll move on. All right, our next item number 6. Carolyn, why don't you run item number 6 for us? We'll get her one. Let her move. Put it back over there. Let her move over, Jay. Give her a voice.
Hey, you got to stay over here and take minutes.
I now recognize Rowan County Clerk of the Board, Carolyn Barger. Carolyn, do you have an item for us? Excuse me, Clerk of the Board, could you please speak into the microphone so we could hear you? Okay.
Board is asked to discuss its preferences as to whether it wishes to conduct a planning retreat for 2020. Past, the board has chosen to hold it. Stop that. In the past, the board has chosen to, at times, hold a one-day retreat. You've held on Wednesday through Friday before, so it's the board's pleasure. What is brewing that you want to do, how much time you need will be up to you.
Do you recall when we typically have those? Is it mid-January, third week January, end of January?
You have, and I think it helps the manager. It gives him his marching orders for preparing the budget as well.
You remember when we did it last year?
Yeah, I want to say it was around the 18th, and you just did a one afternoon, like from noon to 5 o'clock.
Was it?
Then we did a meeting after that.
The
didn't we?
last one we had
Was it a third? Thank you, Commissioner Pierce. All right, do we want to do it on like a Thursday? Well, Mike's always the one we kind of defer to.
Oh, well, I'm not, that's too far in advance for me to know, but
Okay.
I was, did we do it on a Monday before the meeting? Before?
We could. So January 2nd, are we meeting on January 2nd?
You'll meet on Tuesday, the 3rd, if you adopt the resolution.
Okay. All right.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Chairman, it may be better to push it into February this year with the reval.
Gotcha.
And notices going out, because we'll have not.
Well, then
100%,
how
we'll
about
have more concrete.
the first meeting in February is Monday, the 6th. So, and that would be at 3 o'clock. So maybe we could meet in the morning. Monday. All right, let's make it Monday, the 6th. We have a motion for Monday, the 6th.
So moved.
Say 9 o'clock,
6.
8 o'clock, 12. No, come on. We got stuff to do. Let's do 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock, all right? All right, 10 o'clock on February 6th. That's a Monday. Do we have a motion for that? Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. Thank you, Carolyn. All right, financial reports, Anna.
All right, so we'll start with the expenditures, and these are through October. I think the header at the top of the little box didn't get updated.
Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
No, just send that down.
Oh, send this down.
You
I need
Go
it.
ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right. So expenditures are up 3.4 million, which is about 7% over FY22 through October. Any questions? And if we can go to the next slide, we'll look at revenues. So cumulative revenues are up 12.3 million, which we've talked about. 10 million of that is the ARPA funds. So that's where the big jump came for those, which is 17.5% through October of FY22. And then next slide. This is our sales tax for July of 2022. So we're still up 309 over 2021, which is about 10.6%. The next chart just shows the month to month. So it's the same number since we're only in July. And then one more. Property tax is up 1.9 million or about 3.4% over FY22, and this number is through September. So any questions on those?
Question we have every time. Any red flags?
Not that I'm aware of.
When is the bottom going to fall out? Could you give us
I
a
wish I knew.
month and a year?
If I knew, I might be a rich lady. Let's see.
Should we sell our Bitcoin or keep it?
I know, right? I have no idea yet.
Ouch. All right. All right, that's all. Is that all we have? We've got a closed session, huh? Oh, yeah. Item 7A. Do we have a motion to approve the budget amendments? And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, then I move that we enter into closed session in accordance with North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A1 to consider approval of the minutes of the closed sessions held on November 1 and November 7, 2022, and 143-318-11A6 for personnel. All right, do we have a motion to come out of closed session?
So moved.
All right, and tonight, how about passing that down and maybe we could get Carolyn to ask us for a motion to adjourn or to sing, either way.
Do I have a motion for this board to adjourn?
Second.
You got to ask for a second.
I heard two. Motion carries.
All right, Carolyn, we love you. Yes, thank you. All right, we're adjourned.